Hi, it's Michael with you to recap the Cleveland Cavaliers games from this past week. But first, a look back at the NFL Week 16 contest between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. The notes and schedule are courtesy of the NFL and NBA apps, the Browns app, the television broadcast, and Twitter. Both teams could not muster a first down on their opening possession, and Cleveland took over at their own 40 after D'Ernest Johnson's 10-yard punt return. Nick Chubb's first carry was a loss of 1 on the play. He was tackled by Bryce Hager and Terrell Basham. The Browns overcame it as Baker Mayfield found Austin Hooper for a 28-yard advance. He could not hit Harrison Bryant on first down, so he went back to Hooper to set up 3rd and 3. The 6'4" tight end from Stanford had his name called again, and he picked up 5. Chubb could not find anywhere to go, so Hager and Blessuan Austin were in on the stop. Mayfield threw incomplete on 2nd and 3rd down. He was called for a false start in between those two plays, and so the Browns had to settle for a 44-yard field goal attempt by Cody Parkey. It was true, and with just over 5.5 minutes played, it was 3-0. Corey Ballentine ran the kickoff back to the New York 22. Sheldon Richardson limited Frank Gore to a yard. Larry Ogunjobi held the veteran running back to no gain, but the Jets gained their initial first down as Daniel Brown caught Sam Darnold's pass for 13. The ensuing play was a Braxton Berrios reception for 17. Darnold could not complete the next throw to Jamison Crowder, so Gore got the next touch for 6. On 3rd down, Myles Garrett made his presence felt by sacking Darnold back at midfield for a loss of 9. The consequence of a few New York first downs meant punter Braden Mann could down the ball inside the 20 to create a long field for the Browns, which is exactly what he did. Cleveland began their third drive from the 13 with a shade under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. With the lead, the visitors tried to establish the run, but Chubb gained just 2 on first down and gave one of those yards back on 2nd down as Foley Fatukasi and Matthias Farley were in on the tackle. With several starting wide receivers out due to COVID-19 protocol, Mayfield threw to Jamarcus Bradley, but was short of the sticks by 3 yards, and Jamie Gillen got off a 46-yard punt. The Jets accomplished what they wanted to offensively as Darnold connected with Crowder for 9 up to the New York 43. La'Mical Perine got the line to gain +2. Another Crowder catch created another 2nd and 1, and likewise, Perine did not need much to gain another first down. From the Browns' 43, the Cleveland defense gave up a gadget play as Berrios spotted an open Crowder streaking down the sidelines for a Jets touchdown. Sam Ficken hit the ball between the uprights, and 34 ticks left in the period, New York enjoyed their first lead at 7-3. The Browns started their next possession at the 25 and immediately picked up a first down as Mayfield threw a short pass to Bryant for 13, and the quarter ran out. The next play was a Frankie Luvu sack fumble. Fatukasi came up with the ball for the Jets. It was the game's first turnover, and the home team made it count. Jamison Crowder ran for 14 down to the Cleveland 16. Then Frank Gore toted the rock for 5, and then after an incompletion, Sam Darnold threw to Christopher Herndon for 11 yards, and New York scored their second touchdown. Sheldon Richardson blocked the extra point, so it kept the score at 13-3, less than 2 minutes into the second quarter. D'Ernest Johnson did get past the 25 on the ensuing kickoff. Nathan Shepard stopped Nick Chubb at the line of scrimmage, so Mayfield completed the ball to Bryant for almost 15 to the Browns' 41. Chubb got minimal gain on 1st and 10, so it was back to the passing game. So Nick received the rock and picked up 8 to the midfield stripe. The former University of Georgia running back got the necessary yardage on 3rd and 1 to the Jets' 46-yard line. Chubb was the intended target on the next pass play, but Fatukasi was ruled to have roughed Mayfield, placing the ball 15 yards up the field. Still, the rushing game was not working, and Kareem Hunt was tackled in the backfield by Fatukasi and Blessuan Austin at the 33. With the clock inside of 10 minutes before halftime, John Franklin Myers took Baker down for a 9-yard loss, taking the Browns out of field goal range. Mayfield missed Hooper on 3rd and 21, so a chance for points went by the board. The good news was that Gillen forced Berrios into a fair catch at the 10. The defense of Cleveland could not force a 3-and-out as Sam Darnold ran for 11. Cleveland thought they had forced a fumble of Darnold, but the play was whistled down. Interestingly enough, the play, when we see plays involving fumbles with quarterbacks or incompletions, the play tends to be let go, and the defensive player might run it back. And since if the whistle is blown during the play, there can be no chance of a turnover or a defensive score. So that's why the whistle was paramount, and certainly that was part of the reason that it stayed incomplete after the review. So officials deemed on the field and after the review, I should say, that Darnold's arm was going forward for an incompletion, and so it was second down from the Jets' 21. Back-to-back completions to Crowder of 5 and 12 meant a fresh set of downs for New York. Gore ran for 7 and 2 on the next two plays, but on 3rd and 1, Sam threw incomplete, and the Browns were back on offense with 5:05 left after Johnson took Mann's punt for a fair catch at the 9. David Njoku hauled in back-to-back receptions of 7 and 4 to try to change field position. The Jets would have none of it because Nick Chubb was held to a yard and Baker Mayfield was brought down by Nathan Shepard, which effectively ended the series. An incompletion on 3rd down to Hunt meant New York got the ball back north of the 2-minute warning. From the 50, Ty Johnson created 2nd and 4 before Darnold ran to the 39 after his scramble. Cleveland did get out of trouble because Olivier Vernon sacked the former USC quarterback, followed by a Mekhi Becton procedure penalty, so no field goal attempt came about. The Browns caught a break in that Mann did not get off a good punt, so the ball was spotted at the 30 with 44 seconds remaining. Cleveland gained 8 after Mayfield completed an 8-yard throw to Hunt. The next pass was incomplete to Marvin Hall, but Austin Hooper got 9 in the field of play. Baker spiked the ball with 22 seconds left and would have to do so again, and that would come after Bryant's 10-yard catch. Mayfield tried Bryant on 2nd and 10, but could not hit. So the Browns trotted out Jamie Gillan because of his leg instead of Cody Parkey. The result from 61 was still a big ask, and the effort was short and to the right. The margin was 10 to the Jets at halftime. New York got the ball first in the second half. After Gore netted 3 yards, Christopher Herndon took a pass to the left side for 7 to move the chains. Frank picked up 5, and Darnold could not get much on 2nd down. The Browns defense could not get off the field because Crowder caught a pass across the middle and turned it into a big play into Cleveland territory. From the 41, Breshad Perriman rushed for 6. Then Carl Joseph and Richardson combined on the stop of Gore. Once again, the pass defense on 3rd down was a liability. Sam went to Jamison for a 30-yard score. Fickens' extra point made it a 3-possession game not 5 minutes into the 3rd quarter. The Browns' offense went backward as Nick Harris was called for clipping on 1st down from the Browns' 22. Baker Mayfield threw short to Chubb for 4, then Marvin Hall for 12, but could not complete the ball to Hooper. Though Gillen's punt traveled 53 yards, Berrios was able to run the ball back to the Jets' 37. New York was threatening to go in for another score as Perine caught a pass for 12. 2 plays later, it was 2nd and 10, and Malcolm Smith and Sione Takitaki tackled LaMichael for a loss of 1. An incompletion should have been the end of the drive, but rookie Javante Moffett ran into Mann during the punt. The Cleveland defense did step up to the occasion again, and on 4th down, Sheldon Richardson blocked a 50-yard field goal try, and it gave the team a big lift with under 6 minutes left in the period. Jamarcus Bradley received a 7-yard pass up to the Browns' 47. The up-tempo offense played a role on this possession as Chubb caught a pass for another 15 yards. 2 plays later, Mayfield went deep to Bradley to create a red zone opportunity at the 16. Later on 2nd and 10, Baker went to Kareem Hunt for 9 yards. Then Mayfield quarterback sneaked his way to the 3. An offside penalty meant that Nick Chubb could run the ball in from the 1, which he did. Parkey had no trouble on this extra point with less than 3 minutes remaining. The Jets created 2nd and medium after Herndon hauled in the football on 1st down on the New York's next possession. Frank Gore was stopped a yard short. Then, incredibly, they chose to put the ball in the air on the next play. Darnold could not connect with Perriman. Johnson took a fair catch at his team's 17, and Cleveland tried to inch closer. The no-huddle offense was effective again. Passes to Njoku and Bradley totaled 19 yards on 2 plays. And then 2 plays after Chubb picked up another Cleveland first down, Mayfield went back to Bradley to close the third, all the way down to the Jets' 42 after a 17-yard advance. Chubb finally had a big play on the ground to start the final 15 minutes to the 26. 2 misfires on Baker passes meant 3rd and 10, and he would throw incomplete, but was aided by a defensive pass interference infraction by Blesu and Austin on Marvin Hall. So a fresh set of downs for Cleveland, and then Chubb caught a 3-yard pass. Then Hunt found space for 6 after taking the handoff from the quarterback. Mayfield's QB sneak on 3rd and 1 made it 1st and goal at the 4. Hunt did the rest as he went straight up the gut for the touchdown, but Parkey could not slot the ball through on the point after try because the ball hit the left upright and bounced out with just over 12:30 left in regulation. The good news is that Elijah Lee tackled Corey Ballentine short of the New York 20 on the kickoff. The bad news was that the Browns allowed 2 first downs. Frank Gore hauled in a catch on 3rd and 5. 4 plays later, he would cross 16,000 career rushing yards, the 3rd player to do so in league history. But before that took place, Lamichael Pirine, 2 plays before the milestone, ran for 9 yards to the Jets' 44, so field position was flipped, and Cleveland began their next series at their own 14 with just under half a quarter left. Nick Chubb started the next series with a catch of 8. Though Mayfield threw incomplete, he was hit by Fatukazi illegally, but later on 2nd and 6 at the Browns' 37, Chubb thought he had positive yardage to set up 3rd and 4, but his teammate Jamarcus Bradley was called for an illegal block above the waist. The Jets began at their 35 after a punt. With just over 6 minutes left, Pirine was stopped by Carl Joseph. Sam Darnold threw incomplete, but on 3rd down made a completion happen to Herndon. Lamichael gained 4, but Cleveland caught a break because Darnold threw 2 incompletions instead of using more clock, and that would allow the Browns to go back on offense with more time. But still, the missed extra point earlier in the quarter meant that the Browns needed to go 89 yards for a go-ahead touchdown with just over 4 minutes left. Mayfield threw Bradley's way, but to no avail. But on the next snap, he found Njoku for 4. But on 3rd and 6, Terrell Basham sacked the quarterback, and his teammate John Franklin Myers recovered at the 17. New York ran it twice with Pirine, and Cleveland used 2 timeouts defensively. Darnold on 3rd down elected to pass, but his incompletion saved the Browns more time. The penalty for the fumble led to 3 more Jets points, but the margin was just 7 inside of 3 minutes remaining. The road team would get another chance. Fickens' kick went out of bounds, meaning the ball was placed at the 40, so the offense was 60 yards away from possibly tying the score. The drive started well as Hunt's catch and run netted 24. Austin Hooper added 8 on 1st down to the 28. Hooper was Mayfield's intended target on 2nd down, but incomplete. Hunt ran for 3 after the 2-minute warning. Baker could not connect with Harrison Bryant nor Jamarcus Bradley, so on 3rd down he went back to Hooper, but came up 1 yard short. And then on 4th down, Mayfield fumbled, and while Hunt did recover right at the line to gain, it was, as I said, 4th and 1 inside of 2 minutes left, so only the fumbling player is allowed to advance the ball. So it was spotted at the 16, and the Jets took over on downs with 1:18 left. Though the Browns used their last timeout, New York ran out the clock. So 23-16 was the final score. The Jets with the victory. Going into the final week of the regular season, the AFC reads this way: 14-1 Kansas City Chiefs, 12-3 Buffalo Bills, 12-3 Pittsburgh Steelers, and the 10-5 Tennessee Titans. They are all division leaders. In the wild card spots, the Miami Dolphins, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns occupy those spots, and the Indianapolis Colts, along with those aforementioned 3, have a 10-5 record, but there's only room for 3 of those 4 to qualify and play more football in January. So, the games at noon Central Time tomorrow will include the Steelers and Browns, the Ravens and Bengals, and the Dolphins and Bills. In the late window at 25 minutes past 3 o'clock Central Time, the AFC South is featured with the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Colts, and the Titans taking on the Houston Texans. Over in the NFC, the lineup consists of the 12-3 Green Bay Packers, then a pair of 11-4 teams, the New Orleans Saints and Seattle Seahawks in that order. All three of these teams kick off at 3:25. Green Bay is in Chicago to face the Bears, Seattle in San Francisco, and New Orleans at Carolina. We have 6-9 Washington football team in the fourth position, and they will be in Philadelphia for the 7:20 game against the Eagles, while the Dallas Cowboys are at the New York Giants, and they will play in the early window at noon. Dallas and New York know that they must win and have Philadelphia come through, or Washington will take the NFC East. The final three wildcard spots, as it stands, belong to the 10-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 9-6 Los Angeles Rams, and 8-7 Chicago. The Arizona Cardinals, sharing the same record as the Bears, are on the outside. Tampa Bay hosts an early game versus Atlanta, but the other important conference games are in the late afternoon slot. The Cardinals are at the Rams in addition to the Bears' aforementioned game. All right, let's shift gears and go to basketball, as the Cleveland Cavaliers were in Detroit Saturday night in a memorable game. The teams were tied. I'm sure they were tired after the game. They were tied after one quarter at 26. Then Cleveland outscored the Pistons 33-27 in the second stanza. Detroit was 11 better in the third, with the Cavs needing two free throws down 101-99. Andre Drummond provided them with just over a minute left. Neither team could carve out a game-winning basket, and the game went to overtime. Jeremy Grant and Derrick Rose combined to give the first 8 points to Detroit less than 2 minutes into the period, but Drummond would not allow his team to roll over. He scored on back-to-back possessions. In between the two baskets, Grant did hit a three to put Detroit up 9 at the time, but Kevin Love responded with a long-range effort of his own, which would make the score at that moment 112-108. Kevin picked up his 8th rebound on the other end, and it led to a Colin Sexton lay-in inside of a minute. Rose was stripped by Sexton, and Colin took the ball to the basket to tie the score, and a second overtime would be required. This time, a 10-0 run by Cleveland was used. Sexton hit back-to-back layups early in the 5-minute session. Then Darius Garland knocked down a three. Kevin Love was fouled by Grant behind the three-point line, and the former UCLA star knocked down 3 free throws, with the Cavs later up 124-117. Zadie Osman hit a three with 57.2 seconds left, which put the game out of reach. 128-119 was the final score, and the Cavs went to 2-0. Sexton, in 45 minutes of action, finished with 32 points. Garland led in assists with 12 to go, along with his 21 points, while Drummond led in rebounds, steals, and blocks with 16, 4, and 3, respectively. Osman scored 22, while JaVale McGee contributed with 11. Sunday's game versus the 76ers was impressive, not just because Philadelphia is an Eastern Conference contender, but for the Cavaliers to beat them on the second night of a back-to-back helped earn them a 3-0 start. Cleveland methodically pulled away, outscored them in each quarter for a 118-94 home victory. Once again, Drummond led the way in multiple categories. This time he led in scoring with 24, came up with 14 boards, recorded 3 steals, and thwarted 2 shots. Garland dished the ball to Cavs teammates 7 times. Darius and Osman both reached 14 points on the night. Collins scored 22 points in 29 minutes. Wednesday in Northeast Ohio, the Cavs scored 2 of the game's first 3 baskets versus the New York Knicks, but New York would not trail again after Reggie Bullock's 3. Cleveland just could not find the rhythm from the three-point line, going 7 of 32 from downtown and were 36% from the field. What was frustrating about it was that New York committed 25 turnovers, and the Knicks handed the Cavaliers their first loss of the season, 95-86. Julius Randle had a triple-double of 28, 12, and 11 for the visitors. Sexton put up 20 points, and Drummond helped try to keep the Cavs close with 18 points and 17 rebounds. Darius Garland scored 17, while McGee had 11. So the Cavs went to Indiana to play their Central Division rivals, the Pacers, on Thursday afternoon. The good news was the long-range shots were better, as they made just over half of their attempts. Cleveland also blocked 6 shots, but missed free throws and turnovers, especially away from home, can cripple a chance at getting a win, especially against a very good side. That was where The game was lost from the Cleveland point of view. The Cavaliers were 13 of 24 at the line and gave the ball to the other side 18 times. Domantas Sabonis was hot from the field, making 10 of 14 from the floor for Indiana. There was balanced scoring from them as Malcolm Brogdon, Victor Oladipo, Miles Turner, Aaron Holiday, and Doug McDermott all had at least 12 points. As for the Cavs, Colin Sexton was the high scorer for the team with 28. Garland picked up 21 despite his 6 giveaways. Drummond and McGee both reached 13 boards and both combined for 18 points. Larry Nance Jr. scored 10 points, and the final score was Indiana 119 and Cleveland 99. The Cavaliers' long road trip continues against the Atlanta Hawks at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That's tonight in the first game of 2021. The Orlando Magic are next at just after 6 o'clock, both on Monday and Wednesday. The first Western Conference opponent of the young season will be the Memphis Grizzlies on the second night of a back-to-back. The game tips off in Tennessee at just past 7. 48 hours later, the Cleveland is in Milwaukee Saturday before departing home. A reminder, you can follow on Facebook the North Texas Browns backers by typing in North Texas Browns backers in the search box. And on game days, the Irishman Pub on Preston and Frankford Road is where Browns games are shown during the season, so please be sure to come out if you are in the Dallas area. And hopefully there will be at least one more game following this Sunday. Masks are required, so please make sure that it covers not just your mouth, but your nose as well. Videos and previous entries can be found by typing in the search box Michael Balesta, Roman numeral 2 on YouTube. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at MJBOLESTA2, as in the number 2. And http://www.mjbalesta2.wordpress.com has the text form of this blog. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Christmas season, and hope you are having a blessed year. So I know all of us are excited to be putting 2020 behind us, and may God bless you and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.